Today we're going to give you guys a special video. Now, Secret Wars had a bunch of tie-ins known as the Battleworlds, and due to the fact that there are a lot of other comic books for us to cover, from indies to all new, all different Marvel to DCU, we don't really have time to get into most of these, but I wanted to give you guys a list of the top 10 best Secret Wars tie-ins. So if you want to go ahead and check out more stories that happened during Secret Wars, you'll know what to go check out. Now, starting our list off at number 10 is the Master of Kung Fu. You might have noticed at Comicstorian, we have an affinity towards good Kung Fu storylines. Most recently, we did the Immortal Iron Fist, and this story does not disappoint. This story takes place in the territory known as Kunlun, which is dominated by Emperor Zhang Zu, the father of the protagonist, Shang-Chi. We learn of a tournament that takes place every 13 years where the winner becomes the next emperor. However, Shang-Chi is a reluctant hero who does not aspire for such a conflict. The story takes the reader on a journey where Shang-Chi goes from broken man to the hero of the day. With a colorful cast of characters, descriptive fight scenes chock full of martial arts, and mysticism, this story elevated Shang-Chi to a level that he had not seen in a solo book for quite some time. Number 9 is Years of Future Past. Paying tribute to one of the most popular mutant stories of all time, Years of Future Past tells the story of the Sentinel territories where the mutants are being persecuted and kept in concentration camps. The dark world we are introduced to by Chris Claremont is still very much alive in this story that follows a young girl named Chrissy Pride, who we soon discover is the daughter of Kitty and Colossus. This story follows her rise to power and then hopefully the overthrow and change of this sinister portion of Battleworld. The story is masterfully written and the characters have a lot to say about the life as a prisoner. A very complicated story like most of the X-Men stories. At the end of the day, the characters make the story very compelling. Number 8 is MODOK Assassin. In the territory of Killville, the only thing you can expect is a short life. This comical book stars MODOK, who is usually a villain, and while he is not really a good guy in the story, he is the protagonist who is fighting against so many who would seek to kill him. The story does take a strange turn when one of the Thor Corps, the woman Angela, lands in Killville and has an epic team-up with MODOK. This story quickly becomes an instant must-read. What is remarkable about this story is that it tries to make you look at MODOK as he grapples with emotional and romantic feelings towards Angela because she's such an incredible killer. You find yourself rooting for this completely nonsensical couple, and maybe for the first time in comics, you will sympathize with MODOK. Number 7 is Weird World. Welcome to Weird World, a long-forgotten portion of the Marvel Universe that took place in the 1970s and 1980s. This story takes place in a territory like none other that follows the story of Archon, who is a wandering warrior much like Conan the Barbarian. Archon is just trying to get home using his trusty map, but navigating his way through the bizarre land proves to be much easier said than done. With dragons, man-things, crystal warriors, and the Baroness Morgana Le Fay, there is a lot going on for Archon to be distracted by. While this is a simple story which is easy to follow, the biggest selling point of this series is the beautiful artwork brought to you by Mike Del Mundo, which is so popular that it instigated a new ongoing series in 2016 with his art. This is definitely worth a read. Number 6 is Ghost Racers. By far one of the dark horses of Secret Wars, Ghost Racers takes place in the Colosseum, which resides in the capital of Battleworld. Run by the Game Master Arcade, he hosts a glorious race with the Ghost Racers, who are all spirits of vengeance, one of which is Robbie Reyes, who is the current champion. This story follows what goes on in God Doom's Colosseum and the action-packed Ghost races. This book really brings to life Robbie Reyes, who is the now current Ghost Rider, and really highlights the merits of this character and made us a believer in the new Ghost Rider. Also, just all of the creativity of all of the various Ghost Racers makes this a mind-blowing escapade that has the energy of the Fast and the Furious movie series. Number 5 is Old Man Logan. Now, we did this story just like we may do all of the other ones eventually, but this is one of the most popular Wolverine stories of all times, continued in Secret Wars as a part of a territory in Battleworld. For one reason or another, Logan moves on from his life and journeys past the wall surrounding his territory, and he begins to journey to other parts of Battleworld. While the geography of his journey never really matched up with the Battleworld map, Logan is, as usual, a very good everyman, who takes us on our journey through a very unknown world. He encounters characters in all of the different worlds and eventually confronts mutants very similar to the ones that he killed in his world. The artist really shines and has secured a job as an artist in the ongoing adventures of Old Man Logan. So if you want to know how Old Man Logan came back to the Marvel Universe, this is the key series to read. Number 4 is the House of M. A world of alternate realities would not be complete without one of the best alternative realities in recent history. The House of M follows the boredom of Baron Magneto, as his whole world and family comes crumbling down around him in the form of a conspiracy from his family and the threat from the outside. Magneto will have to rise again and stabilize the ensuing chaos. House of M is one of the best stories in the last 10 years, and this story captures the best parts of the setting from Magneto's point of view. Quicksilver is of course a great character and thrived in this setting, and it makes a great title for you to pick up, especially if you enjoyed the previous series. Number 3 is Siege. Now this underrated story makes for one of our top picks to check out. This story follows the drama on the wall that keeps Battleworld safe from the zombies, Ultrons, and the Annihilation Wave, and gives the reader a really intriguing look into Battleworld through the eyes of Abigail Brand. We meet a whole bunch of interesting characters, including a lot of clones of Cyclops, and of course an appearance from King the Conqueror, who brings a lot of bad tidings. This story supplements certain issues of the main Secret Wars title, which makes it one of the most significant books to read if you're trying to catch up as to what happened. With creative storytelling and great artist guest spots depicting Abigail Brand's journal, this is a can't-miss volume for Battleworld. Number 2 is Infinity Gauntlet. Now this story shows us what's going on beyond the wall in the territory where the Annihilation Wave has run rampant. We are introduced to a helpless family trying to survive in the wild, and we soon discover that they are a family related to the members of the Nova Corps. Soon they trouble upon the elements of the Infinity Gauntlet, and they find help from a very interesting guise in the form of Thanos, who of course is trying to assemble the Infinity Gauntlet for his own gain. With an appearance by the Guardians of the Galaxy, this book is a crowd pleaser and is a great story to boot. If you like all things Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet, don't skip out on this series. And number 1 is A-Force, an incredible original story that doesn't rehash any previous world, and it takes place in the territory of Arcadia, which is ruled by Baroness Medusa. The people who protect it are an all-female superhero team from the Marvel Universe, and it shows us the inner workings of the Thor Corps as they enforce God Doom's law on one of the members of the A-Force. Of course, all is not as it seems as Medusa seeks to discover who betrayed the A-Force from within. With a great cast of characters and the introduction of the character Singularity and spectacular art, this book proved its worth by helping launch an A-Force book in the all-new, all-different Marvel. This title embodies the goals of what Marvel is trying to do with Secret Wars, and we highly recommend it. We will definitely be doing this book very soon. Now I do want to throw in one honorable mention, and we would have put it on this list as number 11. It is Where Monsters Dwell. Now anytime Garth Ennis is allowed to craft a story as a part of a superhero event, that should raise some eyebrows. This story has very little to do with anything in the Secret Wars, but it is a very highly amusing read that blindsides you and leaves you with a sick amount of humor. Definitely one of the funniest books to come out of this event if you need a break from the reality of superheroes that is going on with the Secret Wars. Now we didn't put this in our main list because it has nothing to do with the Secret Wars, but personally it's one of my favorite stories that came out of this event. So what do you think? With 45 different titles, we decided to highlight these 11 books. Did you enjoy any of these books? Is there a particular book that we didn't cover that you enjoyed? Let us know in the comments down below, and let us know if you want us to do more lists like this, where we just give you a list of 10 recommendations for you to go pick up that we really just don't have time to cram into our schedule. I'm Benny the Comicstorian, and I'll see you guys next time when we dramatically read something to you like you're used to.